All right. How's it going, everybody? It is I, the Redhead Gamer, and we got a special guest today, one other big player in the last year community. Some of you might know him as the host of the first ever last year tournament. Others might know him as a moderator in the last year Discord, but joining me right now, we have Orsand. Orsand, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. What
And
about you?
I'm doing great, bro. I'm doing great. And I'm pronouncing your name right, correct? It's Orsand or Orsand or...
Well, a lot of people pronounce it in different ways,
Uh-huh.
but for me, it's okay all the ways because I don't even know how to pronounce it. I mean, I say Orsand,
Okay.
but you can say it however you want.
So you say Orsand?
Yeah,
Okay.
Orsand.
Okay. I'll stick with that then, Orsand. But anyway, man, you know, gotta say, we had the first ever last year tournament here not too long ago. Obviously, a lot of teams signed up. There was a lot of hype around it. Why don't you go ahead and just kind of tell us a little bit about how this all got started, and I guess what kind of inspired you to do this?
Well, I play the game a lot, and I have like a pre-made, so I am always playing with my team. And someday I like kind of wanted to play against only good things because we were playing against the same things and maybe they aren't good at all because maybe they are new players or whatever. So we wanted like a challenge, and my idea was like making a tournament so I can play against good teams.
I gotcha, man. I gotcha. And obviously, you kind of talked with some of the team over at Elastic Games to kind of get this thing set up. When you first went to them, why don't you go to just kind of tell us, you know, how that all went down, and I guess, you know, how you ended up getting the support from the devs and the team.
Yeah, I wrote down like in a paper all the ideas for the tournament, and when I had everything, I sent it to Brother Justin on Discord, and he liked the idea, and he wanted to help. And I started talking with James, that is the CEO of Elastic Games, and he helped with the tournament prices.
I gotcha. And was there anybody else in the community that kind of helped you guys out with this tournament, or you know, how did that go down?
Yeah, at first, Jot Penguin helped me with some ideas for the tournament, and then I mean when I announced the tournament, it was like a little bit not completed at all. So people like Beifu and other players helped me to make some rules and better point system. And in the middle of the tournament, a lot of people helped me like Kat or Jen, because I mean thanks to Jen, for example, I could do the tournament on time because like you know I played the tournament too, so I didn't have time to watch all the matches. So Jen helped me counting some points for some matches, and thanks to her we had the tournament on time, at least the first round.
I gotcha. And speaking of the tournament, why don't we go ahead and just kind of move into some of the matches here? Currently pulling them up on stream here for everybody to see. I'm sure everybody remembers them, but for those who might not have seen it or may have been there, we obviously had a lot of teams here, and there were a lot of good players from all across the board that came together in order to make this whole thing possible. In your personal opinion, was there any games of the tournament that really stuck out to you, or maybe some teams that just really did well that you didn't think were going to do well, or just maybe played amazingly?
For me, one team that surprised me was Team Popoga, and I really wanted them to go to the next round because I mean it was hard playing against Rigas because Rigas is one of the best teams of the tournament, but they still managed to do 22 to 24. It was kind of fun because they wanted a rematch, and I didn't accept it. I don't know why they wanted a rematch, but everyone was like, "Who is going to win?" No one, because most of the matches, when you watch the confrontation, you know who is going to win easily. But that match was like, and Semtech was streaming. It was like 1,000 viewers, and it was amazing. Same, they didn't go to the next round.
Yeah, it was definitely amazing how like this game reaches such a wide and far audience as well. Like honestly, I had never heard of MTech until like I got into this tournament and I kind of saw him
Me
playing.
neither.
But you know, just the idea that this guy has like 1,000 viewers, and I honestly, being the American I am, you know, I don't exactly know like what nationality he is, but like, Lordy Lou,
Polish, I think.
Polish. Gotcha. But yeah, other than that, some of these games kind of came close together. Some were kind of distant. Um, right now, I have Bubsky in the chat saying "Daddy's got robbed." I'm kind of wondering what he means by that. Well, I guess he's talking about the ending there, right? Where like Sam managed to kill 3 of their people at the very end by knocking them off of a slasher cleave.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I wanted Dream. I think that if Dream Daddies were in the other side of the bracket, they could have been in the final easily because they played really good. But they had to play against Bayfus team, and obviously it's really difficult.
Yeah,
But
let's be
they deserve
honest.
the final.
You know, we kind of knew that the welcome party was gonna be a huge contender, and in the very end, they were the ones who took the gold. So I guess
Yeah.
that was to be expected. But other than that, everything else kind of seemed to have come together perfectly fine. Uh, you know, obviously, with all this talk of the tournament, I'm sure a lot of people are excited for the future, though. You kind of got to tell us, you know, like, what's the future of the tournament? Are you guys going to be doing this again? Is it going to be changed up, similar? Like, what's the plan?
Well, I would like to have another tournament, at least for the next update, because I think it's the last one of the chapter 1. So it would be great. But I'm not the only one that is with the tournament, because Elastic Game is in it too, because they help with the prices and whatever. But I would like to have another one, and if there is another one, I think I would be the moderator again, but with some help, because I needed some help, and I would like ask for some people, and yeah, we will change the tournament, maybe with losers bracket or something, and we will maybe change the point system too to encourage Finns to do more ambushes.
I gotcha. And speaking of the tournament, obviously, because of the whole setup you guys did, you ended up becoming a moderator of the last year Discord. How does that feel? And I guess, you know, could you just kind of tell us about how that kind of came to be?
Yeah, I don't know. It was like, I mean, there are like the same moderators for a long time, and seeing a new moderator is like awesome, and it was me. Um, I mean, being a moderator of the game you love, because this is my favorite game, it's awesome, and I like it a lot.
And I hate to get into it, but I mean, you know, this was a big part of the tournament. A lot of people saw what happens, and they were kind of just curious about what was going on. But, you know, there was a little bit of a quote unquote issue in the tournament. Could you just kind of tell us about that whole situation, and I guess kind of your side of the story of what went down?
Well, the the problem came. I mean, the first round was really good, no problems. Everything went on time, but the problems came in the second round, and the big problem I feel it was like I was playing my match against POC champions, and at the same time, Hell Divers was playing against Rigas. So I remember that I was playing, chilling, I was playing Finn, and then I started hearing like a lot of Discord sounds, messages, and I was like, "What is happening?" But I was concentrated in my match, and then I saw that there was a problem with that match, Helldivers versus Rigas, and I didn't watch that match because I was playing. So what I did was talk to Rigas because they added me to the call, and they explained me what happened. And at first, I believed them that everything was okay because they were streaming, so I feel that they wouldn't lie or something. So I accepted the first rematch. They played the rematch, and there was another problem that Nick Pig got backed, and they killed him. Nick Pig is the Finn of the other team. So both teams wanted another rematch. So I accepted it because it's like fair for both teams. And that rematch never happened. So nothing happened. That's it. So I had to decide what to do. Both rematches, in my opinion, weren't useful because we accepted another rematch, and if we accept a rematch, the previous rematches doesn't count anymore. So I started watching the first match I played, and I saw. The main problem was that someone got crashed. It was Napalm. Napalm crashed, and they wanted a rematch because of that. So at first I accepted the rematch, but I was like I didn't know what to do, and I asked them for a crash lock, but he disappeared. Napalm disappeared from everything, and I was like, that's strange because I don't know. So at first I was like, okay, I think that I will accept another match and that's it. But the problem is that Napalm connected to Discord and I saw him, but he didn't say anything. Like, no, he could have defended or something his team, but he didn't say anything. So what I did was like, I think that he disconnected because he went to a camping trip and he didn't get crashed. So yeah, in that moment, everything I was explaining is like 4 hours. So in that moment, what I did was tell the other team that they go to the next round, but they didn't want to play anymore because it was late. So Poke Champions won. Well, Poke Champions went to the final.
Gotcha. Yeah, that that has to suck. I mean, just the whole situation that kind of led up to there. And I also hate to bring it up, but a lot of people did join the stream and they did kind of see like what was happening at that very moment. And there was quite a lot of yelling and a lot of arguments and yada yada yada. I guess I gotta ask, how do you keep your cool under such pressure? Because I mean, Lordy Lou, like a lot of people I know, like if they would have been yelled at like that, they probably would have like snapped or what have you.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a very patient person. They were screaming at me sometimes, and I don't know. I think maybe they are like that because they are mad of waiting, but they should understand me too that I'm waiting too. I'm wasting my time too, and I don't need to. It's not your problem. It's my problem too. So they were still screaming, but I don't know. I was just listening to them, and I think that if you don't talk when they are screaming at you, they will understand that what they are doing is bad. So I just stay quiet, listen to them, and when they finish, I talk again and say my opinion.
I got you.
Yeah, if I my if I get mad too, that's a bomb. So I was calm.
I gotcha.
That's a bad thing.
I gotcha. Also, one of the people in the chat, Bubsky, I'm sure you know Bubs, he says a loser bracket would make it a lot better for teams that aren't so good. And, obviously we kind of just talked about that. I guess, how would that look exactly if you were just to do it? Just simply the loser teams kind of just get moved over into this little bracket and that goes on the side afterwards? Or how would that work, you think? Or is that still like a work in progress?
Yeah, it's still in progress because I mean at the moment I'm not working in the next tournament because, like I said, I don't know if there is going to be another one, but I would like another one because it was great. And it also had the game a lot and the community. But yeah, I think that we will add a loser bracket, and because I think that it's unfair, for example, getting the welcome party in the first round. Maybe your team is good, but if you get the welcome party in the first round, you will lose probably. So it's unfair because maybe the other finalists didn't play against them and they went to the final like easy. So I think that adding a losers bracket will be great, and we can do it because I think that in the next tournament we will get a lot of people.
And, Sam Sampson, who was the fiend for the welcome parties in the chat right now, and he also says he wants to thank you for hosting the tournament and hopes you'll be doing more stuff like this in the future. And obviously that's kind of what we've been talking about, but, it looks like there's a lot of support for you in the chat right now, actually. There's Sam, there's Brandon, there's Kuma, there's Kat. I mean, a lot of people are definitely happy that you put on this tournament. I gotta say as well, like, I'm very happy you put this together because I really feel like the community could definitely use a lot more things like this going on. And I gotta say, man, like, you definitely like blew it out of the park this time around.
Yeah, thanks to them for telling me that. Yeah, I did it because I liked the game, and I mean it was like the community wasn't together at all, so I wanted to do something for the community, and this was like the best thing I could do. Yeah, but thanks to them for participating too, because it's not only me, it's every single person that participated in the tournament that made this possible, because we made the 16 teams like 1 hour before the draws. So every single person made this possible. Samson, Brandon, Umaba, Scott, every single person.
And I'm pretty sure you mentioned this earlier. Obviously, you've kind of been talking about the tournaments being kind of up in the air at the moment because there's a lot of like behind the scenes things I'm sure you have to get together. But will there be a chapter 2 tournament? And if you do get permission to do these tournaments again, I guess how often are you planning on doing them? Is this going to be like a per chapter thing, or is it going to be a like every so often type thing? Or I guess what's that look like, you think?
Well, I think that I won. I mean, I can't choose that because I think that that is a thing more for Elastic Games than me. Because I don't know how many updates will they launch in 3 months, for example. But I would like it to be like at the tournaments be like something occasional, not a lot of tournaments because people will get boring. But something like like finally a tournament again. So I don't know if there is going to be something in August. It is in 1 month, but well, let's see.
Okay, and obviously, we've been talking about the tournament quite a bit, but why don't you go ahead and just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, man? I mean, I guess, what kind of got you in the last year, and I also saw on your Twitter, or at least I saw by your Twitter handle, that you have a YouTube. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about some of the content you create in your free time?
Well, first, I discovered last year I think in 2017 or something like that. Because a YouTuber I watched uploaded a video like showing things about last year, like in Facebook, when they were posting like weapons they will have and something like that, and I was like, wow, I really want this game. So I started following that game a lot of time, and I really wanted it. And I mean, I never like, I mean, I was always waiting for it until it came, and in 2018, yeah, on Discord version, and I was so happy. But yeah, I watched it on YouTube because I'm a YouTuber, and yeah, I upload a lot of videos on YouTube. Well, not a lot, but I just do like funny moments videos about other YouTubers or events, but uh, not things about not things related to last year. There's another type of content, and I really like it, and people support it a lot, so I still upload videos.
And I guess what's, some of the big drivers of the game in your opinion? Like what keeps you coming back to this game?
What? What do you mean?
What's like the thing about the game that keeps you coming back and playing it over and
Oh,
over?
for me it's fun always, and also the community helps because I mean I met a lot of people in this game, and a lot of them are my friends, and yeah, I love this game because the community and also because how is the game. I mean, I have all the skins and I have a lot of points, and I just play for fun at the moment. And I don't know, it's like the game mechanics that I like it because you can play scout, you can play assault, and you can make your plans to how to win against a killer. So things like that. I mean, it's not always the same. Like for example, DVD. You just repair and you can loop a killer. But in last year, there are a lot of things. I like it.
And obviously, besides the redhead gamer, do you have any favorite last year streamers that you watch a lot, or people you think need a little bit more recognition that they just don't get?
Um, well, I watch a Spanish swimmer. Now he isn't a swimmer anymore, but I was watching Jot Penguin, and he is also a really good player. I think that he has like 1,000 hours too, and he is a really good streamer and really good player. And also, I watch Fast Breeze. I mean, I usually watch European streamers because the times basically. So Fast Breeze, that was the guy that made the tournament rose, and Jot Penguin and Kuma Vice, and he's a new player, and I really like his streams too.
Yeah, and you kind of talked a little bit about Jot earlier, but why don't you go ahead and just kind of tell us a little bit about the role that Fuzz played in making this all possible? Obviously, he had the stream where he kind of put the team bracket together, but why don't you go ahead and just kind of tell us about that?
Yeah, I wanted like the tournament rose something epic. So instead of, I don't know, posting a photo on Discord and saying, well, these are the rows, I decided to talk with an European streamer because I think that, I mean, it's not the dev's fault, but there are more like official streamers in North America than in Europe, and there are a lot of Europe players. So what I did was talk to Fastbreeze, and I told him, okay, you will make the tournament rows, and I sent him the teams and the website and all the things, and I told him to do it like that, and he liked it, and it was awesome because a lot of people watched it. There were like 50 viewers, and everyone was like so hyped to see the rose, and it was amazing.
Yeah, and like one thing I really got to talk about too is like, I would like to start, playing with a lot more European players and what have you, but I guess this kind of leads into my next question, what are some of the things you think the game could do better? Because, like, right now, I guess my biggest complaint, obviously, is, like, just ping in general. Like, it kind of sucks that I can't play with a lot of people in the community because, unfortunately, their ping just isn't that good when it comes to playing with them, Like, for example, one guy I get matched with all the time, Cloud Cubic, like, I love him, man, but, like, I just refuse to face him when he's Fiend because, 300 ping is just, it's nigh unplayable, man. It's nigh unplayable.
I mean, I feel that dedicated servers aren't a solution for this game because it will be expensive, and I think that it won't be useful a lot having it because I mean we are a small community at the moment. So maybe if they launch another free weekend in Chapter 2, dedicated servers will be good, but at the moment dedicated servers no. And what things to improve? I mean, if you want to get new players, content. That's the only solution it has. Content, the Chapter 2. But if you want to keep players playing, progression system is really needed. And the progression system and fixing bugs and balancing, because there are a lot of bugs, but progression system and new content is the solution for this game.
I gotcha. Yeah, a lot of people in the community have been saying that themselves. And I guess, if you were to see new content, like, say, for example, somehow the devs could magically pop out some new stuff tomorrow, what are some of the key things you think the game would need?
Mm, I don't know. I mean, with maps is new content, but it doesn't get a lot of players, to be honest. So, I mean, a key thing, well, I don't know, a fiend, things like that, because it's like DVD, when they launch content, is all about killers and survivors. So, yeah, the solution is only more fiends and things that change the game. Game changes. A map doesn't change the game. A new weapon in a map doesn't change the game. So people want more things to play, and but yeah, and progression system is another thing because it's like you play this game, you do the Arcanum, but there is nothing more. So players that love the game will still play, but the other kind of players will go to DVD and I mean go to Prestige, all the survivors. But in this game doesn't have that, so players leave. Is that?
Yeah, and kind of going off of what the chat has here. By the way, guys, if you're watching right now and you want me to ask a question, feel free to put in the chat. I'm more than willing to ask those questions if they go with the flow of the conversation we're having currently. Once again, kind of going back to Bubs, he says that the game hit crazy numbers when the tournament started, and we saw that definitely with the streams. Obviously, a lot of people were up and streaming, and people were kind of coming back just to see what would happen, and I guess kind of see like the top tier plays of the game. And I gotta say, like, seeing high tier gameplay in last year kind of is just mind blowing because a lot of times you have people who are brand new and they watch a stream or they don't exactly know how the game plays and they just assume that like the game's sided one way or the other. And then when you have like these really good players up against each other, it's just kind of nuts to see what people can really do in this game.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's true that the tournament made the game get a lot of players, because I remember that the game was having like in that moment like 30, 40 players, And when I announced it, it went to 80, 90, and it was really good. But what I really liked was in the tournament, like a new player, because it was with a new update, and the game was €5. So new players, I mean, there were a lot of new players, and they wanted to watch the game. So if they go to Twitch, they will see a lot of streamings of good players, because all the tournament were only good players. So they learned a lot, and not only new players, but good players learned a lot too, because I read in last year's discussion people like talking about tournament things that happen that are really OP or whatever. So yeah, the tournament helped the game, and that's why the devs like it. But it's not all about me. I mean, a friend is always saying that I saved the game or whatever, but she's dumb because I didn't save the game. I mean, the community saved the game. I just helped to get all the community involved in one thing, and they all saved the game and the update too, and devs, everything. Classic games helped the game too with the prices because they were really good.
Indeed, brother, indeed. And last but not least, people wanted to, I guess, find out more about you or see your content, or I guess whatever you do, man. What's the best way they could, go see that stuff or get a hold of you? I guess, go ahead and plug your info or whatever you want to drop here.
Things about me.
I guess like your YouTube or like whatever you do.
Well, I have a YouTube channel, but it isn't related to last year. But my YouTube channel is Orsand, and you can find it. And I don't stream, but things related to last year, I will post it on Discord. And if there is going to be a new tournament, I will announce it there, or maybe another thing. I don't know. But yeah, on Discord you will see things about me and related to last year.
Okay, brother. And I gotta ask, final question here. What's your favorite last year's skin, and why is it Nick with a goatee?
Well, it is Gucci Nick because it's joke. It is another skin. Sorry, I don't like it.
What?
It's like it's. I mean, it's like
What?
the.
How
I
can
mean,
you, bro?
I was main League on Discord. I was always playing League, and when it started on Steam, I played Nick a lot. But I don't like that skin. I prefer other ones. And my main skin, the skin I most like probably is the Dr. Rat, because I don't know, I love it, and I have played a lot with that skin, and also the Valentine's Rat, but because the memories I have using that skin, uh, the people I played with, and the things I did. But the skin I most like is the Dr. Rat.
You know you're dead to me, right? But
Well, I'm sorry, I don't like that skin. I was big main, but I don't like it.
you got nobody understands the glory of the goatee Nick. But anyway, what? I guess one more question I need to ask actually. Like, in the end, who ended up getting the graphics card? Like, who got the main prize? I know the welcome party won, obviously, but like, who got the main thing? Do you know that or at all? Or
Yeah. No, I mean it was on Steam. The devs made the draw, and the winner was Jolan. So
gotcha.
Jolan won the graphic card, and I think that they are now sending it to her, and the rest of the team got the 100 Steam cards gift.
Oh god, there's a lot of toxic people in the chat right now. Get destroyed red, get wrecked red, F, I hate the Nick goatee too. You guys don't understand, alright? That is the best skin in the game. I'm sorry none of you have taste, but anyway,
No, I'm
Orson.
sorry, it isn't.
No, it is, alright? We're not gonna have this conversation. Anyway, Orson, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me here today, man. I
Well,
really
before
appreciate it.
finishing, um, I want to I want to give thanks to some people.
Go ahead, man.
I did it before, but I want to do it again. Um, this tournament was obviously made because all the community, because every single person made this possible, and also it was possible. I mean, I obviously want to thank Kuma Bites, Kat, Tourist, and Jen for being in my team, because my team had a lot of problems. A lot of people left, but they are still stayed in my team. I want to, and yeah, I want to thank again to Jen, because she helped me a lot with the point, and I would like her to help me in the next tournament, but I'm talking with her. But yeah, she made this possible too, because if she didn't help me, tournament in the round one, well, it was going to be a fail, the round one. But thanks to her help, I managed to do it. So yeah, and thanks to you for doing these interviews
Yeah,
about the
anytime.
tournament and helping the game.
Yeah, anytime, brother. Anytime. I'll definitely have you back on in the future once, the other tournament comes rolling around or what have you. But anyway, once again, man, thanks for joining me here. I definitely appreciate having you around and talking with us. With that in mind, I think I'm going to send the stream on over to Fuzzbury since it looks like he's actually on at the moment. So,
Yeah, I think so.
oh, go ahead. What were you going to say, man?
Yeah, I think so. He's streaming now.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining us here. Definitely appreciate all the love and support, and hope you guys enjoyed this information we got today about the tournament and also just learning a little bit more about Orsand. But with that in mind, let's head on over to Fuzz and tell him that we love him. Until next time, guys, peace out, and I'll see you in the nightmare. YOLO.